Hello all and welcome to an in-depth review of G&G's take of the Heckler & Koch MP5 A5 with front RAS rails marketed by G&G as the TGM A5 Retractable. In this video we'll be reviewing this weapon, section by section, pointing out different features and parts as well as pros and cons. We'll also be touching on some mods that you need to make to this weapon in order to make it safe. On purchasing this AEG and opening the box, you should expect at least the following: the AEG, one high cap magazine, one cleaning rod, one flash hider, and one RAS scope mount. Other accessories available from G&G but not supplied are a longer RAS mount for optics, a variety of stocks such as full, folding, or in this case retractable stocks, and a standard MP5 handguard, of MP5 handguard with torch, or in this case an MP5 handguard with the RAS rail mounts. The length of this AEG with its stock fully retracted and without the flash hider is 54 centimeters. The length of this AEG with the stock fully extended but without the flash hider is 69 centimeters. The weight of the AEG without magazine, ammo or any accessories is just under 2.5 kilograms. We start this review on the upper receiver. In all versions of G&G's MP5 this remains the same. It is made fully from metal, which lends itself to a very nice and weighty feel to the AEG. It has a fixed mounted rear sight which only has elevation adjustment. There are mounting points for the scope RAS rail which fits both the long and short version. To fit either RAS mount, in this case the long one, first place it on top of the AEG, lining up the mount points, then using the supplied 4 screws put them into each of the 4 legs of the RAS mount, and then using a 2mm hex key tighten them to secure the RAS mount to the body of the upper receiver. Like on the real steel MP5, the magazine well and release catch is found as part of the upper receiver. To fit the magazine you simply push it straight into the magazine well until it clicks into place. To remove the magazine, simply push forward on the magazine release catch just in front of the trigger guard. The other side of the upper receiver is almost the same, with the exception of what would have been the real ejection port on the MP5. Instead you have a faux slide cover which has a hop-up adjustment lever underneath. This AEG has G&G's proprietary pneumatic blowback system incorporated into it. More on the hop-up and the blowback system later in this video. The lower receiver of this AEG is made from a strong single piece of polycarbonate plastic, as does the real-life MP5. The fire selector is ambidextrous and has modes for safe, semi-automatic and fully automatic fire modes. The trigger is made from metal, and like any normal version 2 gearbox, the motor is housed in the pistol grip, which makes it slightly wider but not by much. It is still comfortable to hold in hand, especially when gloved. Also found on the lower receiver the words "Made in Taiwan," stamped on the left hand side of the weapon just above the pistol grip. At the front end of the AEG is a combination of metal and plastic. We start with the muzzle of the AEG, which is made from metal and has a 14mm counterclockwise thread adapter on the front so you can fit in silencers or anything else that's your taste. You can also fit the provided flash hider if you prefer instead. To fit this, place it over the muzzle fully, rotate it clockwise and then push the lug into place. Behind the muzzle is a small sling mount, and above that the fixed front sights. Behind all of this is the front handguard. On this version I have fitted the handguard, which can be fitted with Picatinny rails on sides and bottom. On this occasion they have been removed. Above the handguard is the bolt handle. Pulling this back will reveal the hop-up adjustment lever as previously mentioned. Pulling the handle all the way back and then up slightly locks it into place. You can close it by doing the MP5 slap if you wish, though it's not recommended as this is only an AEG. Just as a point to note, as I've been asked this question before, some of you who have purchased this AEG have been interested in G&G's front RIS handguard, finding that out through either G&G's own website or your local retailer, and have wondered if this is compatible with G&G MP5s. Unfortunately, the short answer is no, it isn't compatible. The TGM series of MP5s have a slightly different mounting system for the front handguard compared to compatible Tokyo Marui MP5s. However, all is not lost. If you are brave with the Dremel and have some patience, you may notice that on my MP5 there are 2 grooves cut into either side of the upper receiver. This was my mod in order to get the front RIS handguard to fit. It is by no means perfect, but it works, and I'll cover this mod in another video. The last major component of this AEG is the stock. On this version we have the retractable stock fitted. However, there are other aftermarket stocks available and they are all interchangeable. You'll also notice here that there is the ambidextrous rear sling mounts also fitted on the back. To extend the stock, push the lever towards the left side of the weapon and pull it to the desired length. To retract it, do the exact opposite by pushing the lever to the left side again and pushing the stock down to whatever you need. There are 4 available positions to use. G&G's manufacturing is of a high quality, and with the stock fully extended there is very little play in it. The end of the stock also has a rubber bumper fitted for cushioning and control. To adjust the hop up, first you must pull the bolt handle back and lock it up in place as previously mentioned. This will reveal the hop up adjustment lever where the ejection port would normally be. Push the hop up adjustment lever all the way forward for very little hop and pull it all the way back for maximum hop. As previously mentioned, this AEG incorporates G&G's pneumatic blowback system into the version 2 gearbox found. This is nothing other than an aesthetic feature and does not improve anything in terms of recoil nor performance of the AEG. However, the pneumatic blowback does provide one slight airsoft oddity. The general rule of thumb in airsoft is that no hop means maximum BB FPS and maximum hop reduces BB FPS. Not so in this AEG. With maximum hop, your FPS will increase, and with minimum hop, your FPS will decrease. The supplied magazine is a Tokyo Moroi compatible 240 round mag high cap. BBs are fed from a top trap door which is quite small to accurately load BBs into it without the use of a speed loader. The outer shell is made from stamped metal, giving it a quality feel. At the foot of the magazine is a large BB feeding wheel. Because it is large, this makes it much easier to spin the wheel even when wearing gloves. To install the battery in this version, first remove the handguard by pushing out this pin. Then lower the front handguard by pulling it down and forwards from the AEG. Normally this would reveal a mini Tamiya connector. On mine, however, I have a MOSFET fitted with a plug-in battery. Once you've done this, reinstall the handguard, though this can be quite tricky. As good and as well built this AEG is, it does have a few drawbacks, one of which is a serious safety issue. The first con is the hop-up adjustment. Whilst adjusting the hop-up isn't a problem in itself, what I have noticed is the hop-up cannot stay in place once you've adjusted it to suit the BBs that you are shooting. In mine, it constantly moves about after several bursts of fire and requires adjustment before each game commences. The next con is the magazine wheels. I have found whilst using this AEG that they are prone to jamming. You would be spinning them and suddenly they would jam either through dirt or through just plain mechanical jams. Mechanical ones can be fixed quite easily by forcing it through or shooting a few rounds. However, if dirt jams the magazine, it may require you take it apart. A serious flaw within the G&G MP5 series is the safety catch slips. This happens if you place the AEG into safe and then pull on the trigger firmly. This causes the safety to switch from safe to semi-auto fire, allowing the AEG to fire normally. I'll quickly be touching on how to rectify this using parts already in the gearbox and a metal file. First, you need to disassemble the AEG, remove the gearbox and open the gearbox. Locate the safety lever inside the gearbox and remove it. It has already been circled in red in this picture and has been fixed already. As you can see, G&G have added a small ramp to the lever which causes the trigger to slip. Install the lever upside down in the gearbox to see how much material needs to be removed. Then, using a metal file, remove material from the shown surface, bit by bit, occasionally reinstalling it to ensure you don't remove too much. Once you are able to install the lever upside down and clearing the trigger wires, you should be good to go. Finally, my reason for doing a review video on this AEG is to progress onto a disassembly video. My reason for doing a disassembly video is because of the dreaded version 2 gearbox cracking. I have been told from different sources that G&G MP5s suffer from gearbox cracks because in order for the blowback system to work, G&G have installed a stronger spring in order to compensate for the blowback. But more importantly, normally version 2 gearboxes have a reinforcing spine fitted to the top of the gearbox, but for G&G to fit the blowback system they have had to remove this, reducing the amount of material able to withstand the shock of the gearbox. I have been told however that other G&G blowback guns such as the TR-418 do not suffer this problem as they have other features in them to assist in reinforcing the gearbox. So there you have it, the G&G MP5, A fairly high quality AEG in terms of materials used on the outside, with a few flaws here and there. The biggest flaw I would say is a safety issue. If you do get this AEG, I strongly recommend you make the mod. If you're unsure or not confident on doing the mod, get someone who can. As for the gearbox cracking, I could have just been unlucky, but it's just something for you to keep your eye on. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to disassemble this AEG down to the gearbox should you wish to perform any maintenance, especially that safety lever mod and upgrades to your G&G MP5. So guys, until then, thank you for watching this video. Like it if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. If you have any questions, queries or comments, please use the comment section down below and I'll try and answer them. So until the next video, thanks again for watching.